This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so 50 Cent goes to Planet Hollywood and starts hanging out with the most evil people you can imagine, okay? I guess you just got to play the game, you know? But Whoopi Goldberg, evil. Like this woman hates everybody, okay? Arnold Schwarzenegger brought California into debt, okay? Dragged California. Should have never been governor. Then I saw one with Alec Baldwin. Shot somebody and killed him on set. Claimed it was a misfire from a weapon when he's in charge of the set. And then Pete Davidson, just a weird guy. It's very, I don't know, man. Suge Knight. Well, Suge Knight goes crazy on Snoop Dogg. He talks about how Snoop Dogg, man, he started like, I don't even know if there's any truth to some of the things he said. He was talking about Snoop Dogg's friend that was on Doggy Style, shot at his house, and he turned him into the DEA and all this stuff. I don't know if that's true, okay, to be honest. I don't know if half the things he's saying is true. But he focuses on how Suge Knight was like, oh, Snoop ran from Death Row Records after Pac passed, and he should be repping No Limit. But now he went back and supposedly bought Death Row, but will show me what you bought. I think he's alluding to the fact that he's like, show me the receipt, show me the money. Snoop didn't spend his own money buying Death Row. There was something worked out with some company that backed Snoop. I forget the name. I broke it down when it happened. But it was purchased from BlackRock, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let's see. BlackRock. Let me just double check. BlackRock buys Death Row Records. Okay, so it was controlled by Blackstone. I'm sorry, Blackstone. Blackstone's a big investment firm. They're a pretty evil company. But anyways, Blackstone controlled them, and I think he only got the name from them, if I'm not mistaken. He acquired. I don't think he got the brand. I don't think he got the funds and everything managed by Blackstone. They're obviously paid a lot of money, and they want their money back, right? So they're going to be. It's not like he has his masters and all this other stuff. Maybe he got them from them. Maybe he was able to finagle his masters out, but he didn't get everybody's masters free and everything. They're able to work out the business, though, with Blackstone. So say like, what's his name? Daz Dillinger, right? He talked about recently that he was able to straighten all the paperwork out for Death Row because it's owned by Blackstone now, which Snoop heads up the brand, right? So he almost represents it for Blackstone, but he can do whatever he wants with the logo. It's a good look for Blackstone in a way because it helps the catalog sell more the more it's like promoted. And I'm sure Snoop Dogg worked out a way where, you know, he makes money as well. Why would he do anything for free? They probably pay him, to be honest with you, you know? Like, he owns the logo and every that stuff. He can do whatever he wants with it. But it's a complicated deal because Blackstone isn't going to just take this, you know, because it was part of a big acquisition of E1, which owned Death Row. And anyways, he says he let everybody down with that release that he just came out with, and I agree with Suge Knight on this one. Okay, now they released Missionary, right? It only sold. This is Dr. Dre saying this is his best work, and Snoop Dogg. I'm gonna be honest with you. This album was ass. It wasn't that good. Yeah, musically it sounds, good. Of course, they have the best equipment. It's Dr. Dre. It's going to sound okay, right? It's not going to sound like it was recorded on a iPhone, right? But arguably, Tory Lanez just dropped a great album from his iPhone. But anyways, it only sold 38,000 the first week. Some of you might say, well, that's good. That's good. It's not good if you're Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Okay? It's just not good. People, you were easily expecting this to go 100,000 the first week, right? Because Dr. Dre hasn't dropped anything. He'd never dropped Detox or any of this other stuff, right? So you're expecting, this is going to be great. It had Jelly Roll on it, Method Man, 50 Cent, Eminem, Sting, Jelly Roll, Jhené Aiko, BG the Chicago Kid, Tom Petty. Okay? 38,000 the first week. It's not triple plastique, but it might be triple wood. Triple brick. Plastique's the worst, okay? That's if you're selling like nothing, right? But it's a wood, but I'll tell you one album that was good that they dropped on Death Row. The Dog Pound album. This album is great. Go check that album out. I don't even think this one even charted. This might have gone triple plastique, okay? But it doesn't matter. It's a good album, okay? It's a really good album. Even Jim Jones's album isn't horrible, It's not. It just went triple plastique, okay? So you got to be honest, And like they marketed it normally. They put out a lot of great videos. It's just like time passes, But they could probably tour off of this. Snoop Dogg's always touring, always bringing Corrupt and Daz with them, and it's good to see them because they have so many problems all the time. Like Daz is always seems to be beefing with Snoop, and then they're cool again. Beefing with I think they're like related in some way. I know that Warren G's related to Snoop. It's just like all these guys are like they have like loose relations. Like, oh, that's my cousin from another, cousin from my uncle's side. It's like something. But anyways. It is what it is. And then Snoop starts going in on, like, The Bodyguard. We know you didn't shoot anybody, Snoop, back in 94. But, remember, The Bodyguard breaks it down. These guys kept passing Snoop's house. Snoop had a lot of bodyguards at the time because he had a lot of, like, street beef, I guess. So they leave to go to the studio, and they see that same car that passed earlier or something like that. And the bodyguard draws his weapon, says back up. They block the street. He shoots off, and it kills somebody. Right? He's on Vlad talking about it. If you want to like hear the real story, and then they go to this murder trial, right? Which is great for selling Snoop's album, right? Suge Knight pays for the lawyer. He says. The bodyguard eventually ends up taking the rap that he shot the weapon, and Snoop didn't say, I don't know. And then anyways, they beat the trial. And Snoop never speaks to the bodyguard again. A man who put his life on the line for him. He never speaks to him again. But that's a typical rap artist, just so you know. That's how they act. So it is what it is, man. Then Suge goes on to say he's just, you're just disrespecting Death Row. And, he goes on to say a bunch of other stuff, but who cares? It's like, in the end of the day, Suge Knight ran over a bunch of people, man. Killed them, He ran over one guy and killed him. It's like, and Suge Knight's always been iffy. Some of the things he says is true, but he has his own stuff. Like, he's not a clean... He ran that label into the dirt, too. Let's just be clear about that. Suge Knight needed Dr. Dre. He wasn't the musical talent over there. Let's just be very clear about Suge Knight. Suge Knight needed Dr. Dre at Death Row. When Dr. Dre left, Death Row fell apart, man. They had Pac. Pac died, right? because you guys wanted to go out and party every night. You knew Pac just beat somebody up at a casino. Maybe you shouldn't be rolling around, you know? But they thought they were invincible, and they weren't, you know? A lot of precautions weren't taken, and Suge Knight essentially ran that label into the ground with the fear-mongering of Bloods beating people up in the studio and all that. That stuff isn't cool, man. Not when you're running a business, you know? Your own artists couldn't even create because there was so much loud stuff going on with shooting dice and everything. You don't mix the gang element with so heavily. You separate it. You can still do it, but you don't do it in the office, you know? He ran that label onto the ground. I don't care what Suge Knight says, okay? So, Young LA, he's getting a boost. But he's not in, what's the song? You know the song? Saving everybody. What song is that? Ain't I? Remember that? The one hit Young LA had? Hey, man, it's sad story, man. Young LA does not look... He's trying to make a comeback, right? And he's on this radio station.
Be grabby. Pack extra sloppy. Don't I love my vegetable, extra cheese and broccoli. Don't young lay like...
Oh, my gosh.
Like to kick it like karate. Don't wanna be with J Money serving every...
Man! Man. Someone... Stop interviewing Young LA and get him some help. I guess they saw a 200% increase in views and streams, but that just means it went from, 100 views to 200 views. Let's just be honest, okay? I mean, I'm sorry, 100 views to like 300 views. Okay? Come on. Who cares, bro? So, Young LA needs help, bro. He needs to go get off whatever he's on and go from there. Don't just try to make a comeback. Wow, this man needs help, man. Like that's crazy. Come on. So Biggie's estate is up for sale, $150 million. We're talking about publishing, all this music rights. What's weird about this is it comes right after his mom dies, right? So they get into action selling this. Are the kids going to benefit from this? Is Faith going to benefit from this? Or is this a Puffy move? Where because it looks like Mark Pitts and Gene Deal kind of broke it down that Mark Pitts and Wade, this guy named Wade, who used to be managing stuff with Big, is handling everything. It seems a little funny to me, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised because that's how the music business works. It's very dirty. People don't do the right thing most of the time. That's why it's funny what's happening with Big Meech and Little Meech. They act like 50 did something to them. You know? They act like 50 did something to them when the only person that did something to them is Rick Ross. Rick Ross used your name and didn't give you anything. He made a whole song, I think I'm Big Meech. And you didn't get no money from that? Nothing? You weren't mad about that? Think about the real Rick Ross who stole somebody else's. You're dealing with a character who stole another man's name and never gave him even credit. That's all the real Rick Ross wanted was credit. Just say you did it, and then, maybe we could do some business, and that's it. 50 Cent at least gave that man, 50 Cent the gangster, his credit. You know? I mean, jeez. You can't believe this, man. This guy, Big Meech, went against 50 Cent, who made him $5 million. And made a career for his son. It's crazy. So, this is how people operate, man. Very rarely you get a 50 Cent that wants to go above and beyond where, yeah, we're going to do the BMF series and it's good for me, but guess what? We're going to make it good for you, too. We're going to make sure your son plays you in the movie. I'm going to put him through acting school. Big Meech is a piece of crap, bro. Like, that's what he is. It shows his character of what it is now. I don't know what it is before he went to jail, but in jail, his character has changed. And I don't doubt that he's guilty of everything they say he's guilty of. It's just that they can't prove it. Because it's done in a way where it's not going to be just like right in front of your face. You kind of have to look and connect the dots. Southwest T, he doesn't have any bad stuff on his name, It's just that Big Meech's story is more interesting because he started BMF and crashed out when he went to Atlanta, which eventually got the feds on them, wiretapped Terry's phone. I know people were like, we really knew it to jail because Terry's phone. Bro, they got the wiretaps because the Big Meech put billboards up in Atlanta, bro. They were doing shootings and all that kinds of stuff. Like, think. He could have talked all he wanted on the phone. Eventually, maybe that would have brought him down, right? If they had ever wanted to tap Terry's phone. But this accelerated the end. Him trying to be flashy and nothing to promote. You guys didn't sell one record while you were doing that. You just created a lot of attention. All you did was boost a lot of other people's careers, like Jeezy, T.I., people like that, who don't even go and see Big Meech now. It's so funny. It's so funny to watch that. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. Peace.